Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're going to look at how to build a sales machine for your business. We're going to wrap up the final leg of the discussion. But before we begin, I'm outside. This is an out and about recording, so expect to hear some interruptions. Yes, I'm sitting close to some guys who are playing draft, so you're going to be hearing lots of pass and rolling of the dice and all that. And you might hear them arguing over who is cheating and who is not cheating. They've already gotten into a few fights already. So, now that the warning's out of the way, let us delve straight into the last leg. Now, you remember that for previous episodes, we looked at systems and process. Okay, let me just go back to the top. The three-legged approach that we've been taking to discuss how we build a sales machine is to look at process, to look at people, and to look at technology. So those are that's the three-pronged approach we've been using: process, people, technology. And yes, that is from the Zenith Bank advertisement, but it works. So for systems and processes, we've spoken about how we shouldn't freestyle. We should come up with a framework, something that is easy to remember, relatable, easy to explain to other people so that people can sell on your behalf, so that there's consistency in the sales process. Because this whole thing of going out on fire on Monday, sleeping on Tuesday, being half-hearted on Wednesday, traveling on Thursday, and then being on fire again on Friday, that doesn't work. We need to come up with a system. And if you're going to be lukewarm, then be lukewarm Monday to Friday. If you're going to be on fire Monday to Friday. So you're going to get much more better results if you can be consistent over time than this whole thing of high today, low tomorrow. And all of this is all tied into systems and process thinking or framework thinking, depending on how you want to look at it. And then also another reason why systems and processes are important is because this is what will allow us to scale. So right now you're a solo person, you're a wedding photographer, you're a cake baker, you're a carpenter, you're selling chicken eggs, you're selling catfish, or maybe you are a lesson teacher, you're teaching people jam. For now, it is just you. Eventually, you're going to have to co-opt some people, your baby cousin, your younger brother, some employees, your spouse. Eventually, some other people are going to be selling on your behalf. If you have a framework with some consistency to it and you're able to teach this other people, then your business will scale. If you are a lesson teacher, you figured out the system, you figured out the process, you're able to teach your younger brother or your younger sister to go out and drum up sales for you, then while you are busy teaching people lessons in the afternoon, your brother, your sister, your spouse can be going out looking for more clients for you so that you'll be able to book your time Monday through Friday and have lots of lessons. So this is how you make the jump from, let's say you're charging 20k per lesson, but you're only teaching two students once a week. So you're limited to 40k. And of course, the reason why you can't sell more, because if you're a lesson teacher, when you're sitting down teaching the student for 2 hours, you can't be going out and selling. So while you're sitting down teaching, your siblings are selling on your behalf, your wife is selling on your behalf, your husband is selling on your behalf. This is how you begin to grow and to scale your business and to get more income. Because while you're teaching, people are out there selling on your behalf. And before you know it, you're doing lessons Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you're getting some jobs that you can't handle yourself. You now have to start looking for other teachers to partner up with, and you guys split the share of the profits or something like that. So systems thinking, process thinking, framework thinking, that is what allows us to be able to scale, especially for those of us who start off as solopreneurs. When you start, it's your own hand. Wedding photographer, it's your hand on the camera. For the baker, it's your hand on the spinning thing. If you are the tailor, it's your hand on the machine. Then the next step, we looked at people and how that helps to build a sales machine for your business. We ran through how you need people with the right attitude, hire for the right attitude, teach skills later. So that whole Niger thing of you're trying to hire people with the right skills, you're actually doing it backwards from a sales and business development perspective. So hire for attitude first and then teach skills later. Oh, by the way, if you're in the engineering, health and safety spaces, blah, 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 then this does not apply. Because, well, it doesn't apply 100%. Because when it comes to engineering, you want to hire the best engineer, even if he's an adult. Sorry, not an adult, an idiot. Because if you hire people with the right attitude but then poor skills, people die. So for engineering, you want to hire the best engineer, even if he's an absolute idiot. because you want the project to succeed. You don't want people to die. So, where are we? Okay, so for sales and business development, you're looking for people with the right attitude. You train them for skills later on. Make sure that they're teachable. That is what will be able to. That's what will help them to learn the skills, and also to help them to learn the way that you like people to sell for you, in line with your brand positioning and all that. Then you want people that have a learning mindset and also have a creative mindset. So that was people. Today we are going to look at the final part, which is technology. Now, when it comes to technology, there are lots of things that you can say about tech. And if we start looking at it from a platform by platform basis, we're not going to leave here, because there are lots of platforms and tools that you can use to sell, or to help you sell better, to improve your sales, to manage your sales. So once we start talking about all those individual tools, we won't leave here, because there are hundreds and hundreds. So I prefer, when talking about this kind of stuff, to speak in terms of categories or families. And yes, it's the same approach that I took when I was teaching the young ones for the what was it called, the NBC, Nigerian Bottling Company. That's Coca-Cola people. Then when we ran the young ones through artificial intelligence and how you can use artificial intelligence to work on projects and also to build your businesses. So I didn't start talking about AI tools and say Gemini number one, ChatGPT number two, not autopilot, Copilot number three, and on and on. So I spoke in terms of families or categories, and then that's a similar approach here. So now, when it comes to the categories of tools, okay, well, first off, definition, technology. Now, when lots of us hear technology, especially people that were born during my own era, so people that were born, late 70s, early 80s, up until now, whenever we hear tech, we only think of computers. That's because of the time that we were born. But actually, technology goes beyond computers, goes beyond digital stuff. I was shocked to find out when I got into junior secondary school and we're discussing agric and we started talking about tech, and the teacher was talking about the hoe. And I just thought, the hoe, as in hoe and rake and shovel, and they're talking of it as technology. I didn't think that was technology, because when I grew up, every time you heard tech, it usually was computer related and usually digital related. So I'm sure those of you who are born 2000s and upwards, you guys, I'm sure you think in the same vein. So just like how a shovel and a hoe and a pitchfork and a wheelbarrow is also technology, we also have technology for sales, old school and new school as well. So technology just means tools for problem solving, full stop. So the hoe is the one that you do manual. The what's it called? The tractor. Okay, tractor is not digital. Tractor is analog. So the hoe is manual. Then the tractor is analog, and then maybe you have a drone that helps to sow your seeds later on. Then the drone is using digital technology. So you can see how in agriculture, you can start off from manual and then go through to analog, and then from analog you move to digital. So it's the same way when it comes to sales as well. And the reason why I'm giving this caveat, this whole back story, is because there are some tools that are universal that will always remain when it comes to improving your sales. And the first family we're going to look at is the family of record tools. So we all need a pen and a paper handy. Pen and paper will never go out of style. So pen and paper is a tool of record. The reason why you need a pen and paper is because you're going to be having lots of conversations with different people. You need to be able to review later on, who did I talk to, what did we say, what did we discuss, blah blah blah. You can only review what it is that you have recorded. So recording tools are very useful in improving your sales. Now, the reason why I'm starting off with pen and paper is because most people don't mind pen and paper. They are not threatened by pen and paper. So for me, I can sit down in a meeting, I can say, Madam Cecilia, nice that we're finally having this meeting. I beg, no vex, I have my pen and paper here. I just want to write down some stuff so I don't forget anything we've discussed about. Are you okay with that? And Madam Cecilia will say, yeah, sure, no problem. Most people do not mind for you to write. You just take permission so that they know that you're not ignoring them. And by the way, when they start talking about personal stuff and things like that, personal information, feel free to let them know that, oh, okay, yeah, I took note of this, but I didn't write that and that and that because this is confidential information. So that's how you handle the whole pen and paper thing. It's not a problem. The first time you do it, you feel awkward, but trust me, people have no problem with pen and paper. At least in Nigeria, anyway, people don't have problem with pen and paper. I don't know if you're in a country where the culture is different. Then there's another tool of record, and that's the phone, because the phone has audio recording these days. Apart from audio recording, there's this thing. Is it Google? Is it Google? No, not Google Translate. Google Transcribe. So there's audio recording, there's Google Transcribe. When you flip up your phone and you open to Google Transcribe and other tools like this that were made for people who are auditory impaired, people who have problems hearing, when you use those sorts of tools, it's transcribing every single thing that you say. So you're talking with Madam Cecilia, the thing will note speaker one, blah, 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 blah. Let's say speaker one is you. Every time Madam Cecilia talks, you will now say speaker two and blah, 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 blah. So speaker two is Madam Cecilia. At the end of the meeting, you'll be able to look at Google Transcribe and you'll be able to see it there. And speaker one, these are all the things you said. Speaker two, this is everything you said. That's for the phone. Then there's also audio recording. But this is where the problem comes in, at least in Nigeria. This is kind of new tech, so not everybody is comfortable with all their stuff being transcribed. Not everybody is comfortable with that. So ask beforehand, because if you start off this meeting, you're transcribing everything, and Madam Cecilia now find you don't tell her, and then she looks at us like, you're recording everything I say, it'll be a problem. So tell people, just like with the pen and paper, ask for permission if you're doing the transcribing thing. You definitely have to ask for permission if you are recording anybody's voice. Once you are recording voice, just like I'm recording my voice right now, there are lots of touchy personal issues involved and even legal issues involved. You are required by law. This one is not pen and paper that if you ask, you didn't ask, you can overlook. For voice recording and video recording, you are required by law. Madam Cecilia, I am recording this conversation. You tell her, bam, wholeheartedly, or else it's going to cause problems later on. Or Oga Danjuma, you see that camera in the corner, it is making a video recording of everything that we're talking about. So, for audio, video, let them know. Transcribing, let them know. Pen and paper, you can casually seek permission. That's okay. For audio recording and for video recording, depending on the jurisdiction that you are in, you might be required to not just give them an auditory warning, not just tell them this thing is being recorded. There are some jurisdictions where you have to obtain permission in writing. You give them the paper, they will read it, they're aware, then they will sign. Okay, I know that this thing is being recorded. So, why bother going through all this video, audio? It will depend on the country you're in, the context that you're selling in. Those are what will determine whether you're taking this detailed whatever. Like, let's go back to the engineering example. When you're trying to design complex engineering systems and things like that, maybe it would help if you have a verbatim recording of what it is that happened. I'm just guessing. I haven't sold in the engineering space, but maybe that's where transcription things will come in handy, because people need to remember exact technical specifications. But of course, I'm not recommending that any of you go that fancy, because like I said, pen and paper never fails. It's good. The only problem with pen and paper is that you can lose pen and paper, or by the time you come back, you see that your children have destroyed the pen and paper, or your wife didn't think it was important and she used it to wrap a car or something like that. So those are some of the issues. But pen and paper, you can't fail with that. Whatever it is you choose, let people know that you are taking notes, you're making a recording. The whole point of recording is so that you can review later. The whole point of reviewing later is so that you can chart the next course of action. And that's one of the reasons why lots of you are failing in sales right now, because you are not using instruments of record at all. You go and you sit down, it's a nice meeting, nice whatever, and then both of you stand up and you leave, and then you're freestyling, you're running it from memory. Take a pen and paper, record. If you want to do something fancy, the fancier it gets, the more permissions you need to get, and the more you need to emphasize that, Madam Cecilia, I am recording this phone conversation. Oga Jibril, you see that camera over there? We are recording this, whatever. You need to take permission, you need to let them know. Then, the next categories of tools that we're going to look at. Sorry, I haven't had breakfast, so my brain is slow this morning. Is scheduling tools. Now, a scheduling tool is just something that lets you know this is what you're supposed to be doing today. This is what you're supposed to be doing tomorrow. This is what you're supposed to be doing next tomorrow. That is a scheduling tool. Scheduling tools are useful because we forget. You can finish this meeting today. It was a wonderful conversation. Madam Cecilia is happy. Maybe you recorded some stuff on your phone, but you didn't enter anything into your scheduling tool. And you're supposed to meet with Madam Cecilia again on Wednesday. But maybe on Tuesday, your wife threw you a surprise birthday party. You are really happy. You guys are so much in love and everything. And then you overslept. You forgot about your meeting on Wednesday. These things happen. Or you're called for your child's PTA. You go for the PTA meeting. You forget that you and Madam Cecilia, you have 10 o'clock meeting. These things happen. So, record stuff, pen and paper, transcribe, video, audio, whatever, depending on your context. But then have a scheduling tool that you enter something into at the end of the meeting. This is where CRMs come in handy. The CRM tool is a customer relationship management tool or a client relationship management tool. The CRM is the thing that lets you, who have you spoken to? What stage of the relationship are you in? What is it that you're supposed to do next for the client, for Madam Cecilia? Or what is the client, Madam Cecilia, what is she supposed to do for you? Because it's possible that you've run through the whole thing and Madam Cecilia has said, oh yes, I'll pay you 1.5, and you start the work. But then things happen. You forget to collect payment. She paid 700 deposit. You forget to collect. The CRM is what will remind you, Bingim, Madam Cecilia is owing you 800k, and then you can now follow up on that. So we need to have CRM tools. I've made lots of episodes about how you don't need high-tech CRM tools because your phone can be used as a CRM tool. So Google Calendar on your phone, iPhone Calendar on your iPhone, whatever calendar that comes with your phone can be a good CRM for now. So let's go back to Madam Cecilia. You have the meeting with Madam Cecilia. You're taking a bunch of notes, or you're recording, or you're transcribing. You're done with the meeting, and you will agree that you're going to see Madam Cecilia. You are meeting again on Wednesday, 10 a.m. at our office. Then, after you leave the venue and you get back home, you pull out your scheduling tool. Let's say right now it's Google Calendar. So you open Google Calendar and then you write there. The subject will be Madam Cecilia 9 a.m. meeting at Hilton Hotel. In the notes section on your Google Calendar, you will now look at your pen and paper, all the things that you wrote. You will now type it into that section on the notes section or the details section on your calendar. I think for Google Calendar is I think it's called details. In some other apps it's called notes. So you now write it there. Madam Cecilia meeting 9 a.m. Hilton Hotel. Discussed blah 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 blah. She objected to this, that. Follow up. I'm supposed to provide information on this. Next meeting date is so and so time. Let's see what else. Agenda is provide this material and then deliver proposal, and then you schedule it there. Pop, and then you hit save, and then you what's it called? You hit that thing so that you know where you're supposed to put time and everything, so the thing gives you a reminder. So that way, if you get home and your darling wife has thrown a surprise birthday party for you and you're happy, Momsy was there, your siblings were there, everybody was there, you're overwhelmed, you're so much in love and everything, and then you oversleep, your phone will do pinging in the morning, and you look at it, you will see meeting Madam Cecilia 10 a.m. Hilton Hotel. Then you can jump up quickly, have your bath, and rush out the house for your meeting. So you see how scheduling tools come in handy. It's the same thing, if you're a woman, your idiot husband forgot to organize the party for you, so you're angry, and then on top of that, they called you for PTA meeting. You went for the meeting because your husband can't be bothered. You're angry with the whole world, everything. While you're there, your phone will do binging or zip zip if you put the thing on silent, and then you see the meeting Oga Jubril, 10 a.m. Hilton Hotel. Then you can take permission from the teacher and then run off. Your business life doesn't have to fall apart because your husband is an idiot and your children are not doing well in school. It doesn't have to stop your business from moving forward. By the way, our husbands will never do poorly and our children will always do well in school in Jesus' name. I'm just coming up with examples. Then, after scheduling tools, we now need creativity or problem solving tools because sales involves lots of creativity. Because you can finish this meeting with Oga Jubril or Madam Cecilia, and then you're now thinking, Madam Cecilia said this. How in the hell am I supposed to solve this kind of problem now? It happens because your brain is blank. Then, this is where one-on-ones come in handy. Well, one-on-one is not really technology because we can't really say human beings are technology, but just roll with me here. So that's an option, one-on-one. You will talk to your manager back at the office. Oga manager, I spoke to Madam Cecilia. She said this and this and this. I'm out of ideas. What do you think? So one-on-ones, that comes in handy. Speaking to your coach, your mentor, or whatever, that comes in handy. It's not exactly tech, but we need this kind of help when it comes to creativity and problem solving. Another tool that is available, AI, artificial intelligence. So excuse me. And that is what we were trying to preach to the young ones at the NBC, Nigerian Bottling Company, Coca-Cola Youth Empowerment session that happened this month, 17th and 18th of March in Abuja. So if you're between 16 to 35, they organize this thing on the national level. So just pay attention to social media. Follow NBC, follow Coca-Cola. You might see when it's coming to your city, because I know that there are some scheduled for Lagos and other parts of the country. So in case you're 16 to 35, and for some reason, yes, they decide that 35 are young people. In my own opinion, for 35, you're not young. You're a grown-ass man. So don't think you're a youth. So, where was I? AI. Now, you can use AI for creativity and problem solving. You can put it there in the prompt for ChatGPT. You can say, I had a meeting with a client. Oh, by the way, don't put Madam Cecilia's name into ChatGPT or Aga Jubril's name into ChatGPT, because these tools are also data gathering tools. So if you put it there, you would have put Madam Cecilia's private information over on the internet, and that's not good. So just write, just general. I had a meeting with a potential client who is a female based in Abuja in so and so industry. We discussed so and so solutions, but she had objections to 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of the process. I'm able to provide guarantees on this, that, and that. What else can I do, or what else should I discuss with my potential customer to make sure that I meet their concerns? And then you hit enter, and it's going to come up with a couple of solutions. Now, because you are the expert at what it is that you do, you will see that some of those solutions will be rubbish. Disregard the rubbish. We're not concerned about that. And you will see that 1 or 2 of those solutions actually make sense. For the ones that make sense, take it, try your luck. If it works, it's all good. If it doesn't work, no wahala. At least you've learned for the future. You're not going to be able to win every single business that you pitch for. So, creativity, problem solving tools. Your line manager is there, your guy in the office is there, your coach is there, your siblings are there, speak to them, or you can use AI, so creativity and problem solving tools. Now, I hope you're beginning to get a sense of why all these things are important. You can see that it's one thing to have a framework that is well thought out, but if you're not recording conversations, you're not reviewing conversations, you're not scheduling anything, and you're not trying to do problem solving, you can see how the whole thing is not going to work. And you also see now why the people part of the equation is important. Why you need people with the right attitude, who are teachable, and who have creative mindsets and are willing to learn. Somebody who is a lazy dunce is not going to go through all this. A lazy person who just wants to collect salary is not going to bother with pen and paper. They are not going to schedule. They will be trying to remember, they will try and freestyle. And problem solving, what's their own? They will do the one that they can do. The one that they cannot do, it's not their problem. So you see how all these things work together. Now, we also need communications tools. Now, these ones, you're already very familiar with them. Email, WhatsApp, social media inboxes, and then SMS, or whatever communications tool you can think of for now. The reason why we're going to use all these tools, and we'll use as many as possible, is because if we use multiple touch points, we're going to increase the likelihood of engagement, or the likelihood that somebody will respond. You might send Madam Cecilia SMS messages or WhatsApp messages after that meeting. Not everybody is a WhatsApp person or an SMS person. So send the SMS that, okay, it was nice meeting with you, ma. This is what we discussed. This is what we're supposed to do next. If she replies, good. If she doesn't reply, no problem. The next day, you can now send out an email. Oh, good morning, Madam Cecilia. Just like I mentioned in text message, was lovely having a meeting with you. Remember, this is what we discussed. This is what we're supposed to do next. Looking forward to our meeting on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Send the email. She responds, good. She doesn't respond. If you got her social media handles, you can do the same. Now, some of you might be saying that, man, this is overkill. It's harassment. In the beginning, it's not harassment. You don't know how this person chooses to vibe with you or to interact with you. So you're trying out as many multiple touch points as possible until you figure out what the person likes. You might go through all this and figure out that Madam Cecilia is a phone call person. If that is the case, then any single follow-up, touching up, whatever it is that you need to do with Madam Cecilia in the future should be by phone call. But back to the CRM thing where we schedule. Make a note of it in your CRM so that if your wife wants to do the follow-up call, she will see that Madam Cecilia is a phone call person. Because there are some people that are like that. They don't respond to WhatsApp. They don't respond to email. If you call them, they will answer. Unfortunately, most people don't like answering their phones. I've met one person who doesn't respond to WhatsApp and email, but even if you send her messages at 3:52 in the morning, when everybody else on earth is asleep, she will respond. So don't ask me why. There are people that are just like that. We're trying to figure out what are people's preferences, what are their cadences. So we're using multiple touch points in the beginning. So when you finish with Oga Garba at the meeting, it's the same thing. You send him an SMS. The next day, you can send the email. Then after a while, you can send SMS, WhatsApp. Send those on the same day because it's the same category. Social media, maybe send him LinkedIn message, maybe another day. But the thing is, you will start seeing, after you do this 2 or 3 times, you will notice that, okay, Oga Garba doesn't even read his email, because after a while it starts bouncing. WhatsApp and SMS, he doesn't bother. But every single time you send him Facebook message, he responds. So for the future, Madam Garba, that's how you're going to be dealing with him, Facebook messages, because he responds there. Then for communications tools, we also look at video conferencing tools. So Zoom, Microsoft, Teams, and then Google Meet. For those of us who are Nigerians, those are the big ones that we use here. Google Meet, well, it's free. It's on everybody's phone. Zoom, there's a free package, but that lasts only 1 hour. Microsoft Teams, I don't know how that works because, I know that whenever I'm meeting with British Council, that's what they seem to prefer. But I don't know if you need a paid account. But Google Meet is absolutely free. Half of Nigeria has an Android phone, so that one is not going to be a problem. You send them the link, they click on the link, the thing will just come up. Video conferencing, very useful for meetings when both of you are not in the same city or not in the same part of the world, stuff like that. So the current British Council project that we're working on, I'm providing media services for them, producing a documentary I can't go into details yet, but producing a documentary for them. That is only possible because we have video conferencing tools. So we had a Microsoft Teams meeting where me and my crew were there. The British Council marketing people were in Lagos, and we had the conversation. This is the project, this is the scope. Okay, we are agreed on the budget. What is the scripting? What is the creative direction that we're taking? What is it that we need to move this thing forward? What do you guys require of us? What are you going to use the video for ultimately? What's the call to action that we're going to have? What are the additional resources that we need, people that we need to interview? All of this was done all over Microsoft Teams. They were chilling in Lagos. I was chilling in Abuja. My team people were chilling wherever they were chilling, and we got the job done. So video conferencing tools, very useful for closing the deal. So already 30 minutes, so let me just bring it to a close here. But this is how you should be thinking about tools and technology when it comes to increasing your business. Don't think in terms of the individual tools. Think in terms of categories. I need stuff to record and review. What kind of record and review works for my own context, for my own industry? For most people, pen and paper is fine. In most Abuja hospitals that you go to, the doctors don't use pen and paper anymore and files. They're using computer. But you can see how the context is different. So wedding photographer, pen and paper is good. Medical doctor, I guess, your organ mandates you must use computer, so you must use computer. So audio recording, phone, video recording, whatever. But you need a tool of record. So start thinking. For my business, what is the tool of record that we need? You need a scheduling tool. CRM, that's industry practice. You don't have money, no wahala. Your phone can function as a CRM. You have notifications, you have calendars, you have notes. Use that as CRM. Please, 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 always schedule something. If you don't schedule, you will forget. Life happens and you will forget. And that's how we lose money. That's how we lose money. In fact, let me give you one testimony. There was somebody I was supposed to call over something. I won't go into details. My wife gave me the person's number. I said I'll call the person. I forgot. And then I forgot. And then I forgot. And you know how politics is in Nigeria now. Eventually, the guy got elevated. He's on a whole new level now. My guy is not answering phone calls anymore. And the thing is just paining me like, chai, I should have just called the dude when I said I would. I should have scheduled it. I should have called him. It doesn't mean I would have gotten the deal. But you never know how I would have been able to advance the relationship before this guy got elevated and he's now a big boy and he's not answering phone calls anymore. So, schedule something, please. Too many people are losing money because they're not scheduling anything. Then creativity tools, talk to your line manager, talk to your coach, talk to your siblings. AI is there. If you don't have anybody to talk to, some suggestions will be helpful, some will not. You're the specialist, sort it out. Then communications tools. Please, don't just pick one. It's not about what you prefer. Now, some of you who love WhatsApp, it's not about you. If you love WhatsApp, you're trying to WhatsApp Madam Cecilia, but Madam Cecilia is an email person. Then to what end? You're wasting your time. If you love WhatsApp, but Madam Cecilia is an email person, then please email all the way. If you hate phone calls, but Oga Garba is a phone call person, then look, it's not about you. Pick up the phone and call. You want to collect Oga Garba's money, so pick up the phone, call, collect the money, make your life easier. Then, of course, video conferencing tools. So that's all for today. Connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm the host of the show. You can confirm the spelling of my name from the link where you're listening to this episode. Also, connect with me on WhatsApp. My phone number is 080-6466-2140. The country code is +234 for those of you who are not Nigerian. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording. I'm sorry that the last 3 episodes have been 30-minute ones, so let's see how we can scale back in future episodes and make it, 10, 15-minute affairs. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys soon.